Okay, welcome back, and we're now going to take a quick tour of the in-ground citrus that are commercial types, and I do protect these. I made a commitment a couple years ago to do this. This is at my house and located on the south side of the house, and you can see here this is south facing. It's pretty early in the morning now. This gets full sun most of the day, winter and summer, so it's pretty warm. It's definitely the warmest spot on the property. And I made it a commitment, as I said, a couple of years ago to protect as needed. I will put barrels here, 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 and so forth, and cover with frost cloth as needed. In the barrels of water, I put aquarium heaters. And last year I kept it really warm. This coming year I probably will keep it around 60 or maybe 70 degrees to keep inside above freezing, but I almost kept it too warm last year. Um, we want to keep things quiet and dormant, but also protect them from extreme cold. First off is Owari Satsuma. I grafted this myself from a tree I had when we lived on the coast, and this year it's really grown. It's been in the ground since 22. It did go through 22 at 11 degrees and essentially unprotected. It was moderately damaged, but obviously did survive. Um, Most Satsumas are pretty good to about 15. I didn't protect it last winter. I had it ready if I needed it, but it did just fine without anything. And this year it's really bloomed and set fruit, so I'm going to have a nice crop, more than I kind of expected. The tree's about 4 feet tall, kind of approaching 5 feet. It's not a huge tree, but it's certainly big enough to hold some fruit now, so I'm very happy with that. Next is a tiny little Meiwa kumquat I planted last year. Meiwa, again, is also very hardy. I didn't protect it last winter, but it was ready if I needed it. Meiwa always seems to produce some fruit no matter what, and I've got a few on there despite my efforts not to let it keep any fruit, but it did. Next here are two small sweet oranges. This is Hamlin orange. I believe it's Hamlin. Let's see. Yeah, Hamlin orange, and it bloomed, had some blooms. I was not going to let it set any fruit, but a couple of them got hidden. So here's one, and here's another. I let them keep it. Why not? And like most of the trees here, I will prune these up a little bit once they get quiet in the fall. And I probably won't let them grow much taller than the plumerias here. And by the way, the plumerias do come out for the winter. I store them and put them back in the spring, and they do great. This is oh heck, Cindeline. This is Cindeline blooming here. Very fragrant and beautiful plumeria. Moving on, this is a Glen Navel. Again, these were real small when I put them in last year, and they've grown a lot this year. I've been very happy with their performance, and no fruit on this one. Then these have been in the ground since 23. Yeah, this is Amoa 8, and Amoa 8, as you're probably aware, is a clementine by blood Mandarin. I'm sorry, clementine by blood orange, and it's from Italy, and it's a late ripening fruit. It tends to ripen around January fully and get fully colored. Well worth any effort, in my opinion. This year it's got a lot of, look at all this fruit. It's just crazy. So I'm very pleased to see the fruit on there, mostly on the lower branches, but I've got a few scattered around, I know. This is a Blanco grapefruit, and this was in a container. I did graft this one years ago from budwood given me by Bob Snyder of Winston-Salem. Shout out to Bob. Thank you, Bob. It was a long, long time ago, and it sat in a container for many years, decades really, until I finally decided to plant it here, of all places. And this probably has the most fruit it's ever had. So I think I've got 5 or 6 fruit on it this year, which For me anyway, Ora Blanco has always been kind of a shy bearer, but it's got some grapefruit on it. And like, it's a California variety. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again that Ora Blanco is a low heat requirement for grapefruit. So even I think we get plenty of heat for grapefruit, but even if we didn't, it would ripen fully because it is a grapefruit pomelo hybrid. And then here is Tango, Mandarin, and Tango's extremely vigorous. I'll back up so you can see the whole tree, and I've had to prune it a couple times, even this summer, because it just wants to be big, and that may be a problem as we move forward. But right now, I seem to be able to maintain it, and it's got a lot of fruit on it. You can see the fruit here, and Tango is an irradiated kumquat, so kumquat's a mid-season Mandarin, ripens in January and February, but it's well worth the effort. And then in the back here, I don't protect this one, but here it is in a great spot, is Fukushu kumquat. This did go through 2022 and unprotected, so it's very tough, and it has got some fruit on it. Like a lot of kumquats, Fukushu is a persistent rebloomer, so you can see that it's got some fruit. I know I've seen it. Yeah, there's one. There's a fruit up there. It's got several of these, and then it's also blooming right now, and I'm irritating the bees that are pollinating it. So like I said, a lot of kumquats, most kumquats or kumquat hybrids will rebloom throughout the summer. Fukushu is no exception to that. This one's about 8 feet tall, maybe a little taller than that, and it's doing great. Like I said, it enjoys a nice little spot here, but other than that, I don't protect it. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commercial type citrus here. That's probably all I can put in. I might be able to squeeze another one in somewhere, but that's probably about it. The biggest challenge I'm going to face in the coming years is keeping these to a manageable size. The Amoa 8 and the Tango are about as big as I want to let them get. I'll probably prune them off after I harvest fruit, maybe a foot or so right here, to keep them at a manageable size. And then we shall see, keeping things smaller to maintain a good crop and keep them in some kind of manageable bounds is, in my opinion, a good problem to have. Certainly better than not having the trees at all. But we'll see how that works over time. And so far I've been very happy with their performance and very excited about the prospects. We're going to have a lot of fruit this year. This is just a few of the trees that I have in total. These are the ones that require the most effort. They are the ones I spend the most time protecting when I need to. Right now it's summer, so living's easy. Thanks again for tuning in.